uh, Smack DVD, the Smack era battle rap in the East Coast and worldwide. How many battles he's taken? He's, I think, if not the highest viewed battler, he's the second highest viewed battler. So on paper, that's the biggest. To me personally, the biggest. Just on a preference level, I would say me and Remy, just because of what it meant to me to St. Louis.
Right. Okay. All right. So after battling, like I said, with the music, I was more intrigued by it. So when I came in and met you, you was finna put out MM3.
For sure.
MM3, to me, still, that's my favorite Dub project.
Appreciate that.
And maybe it's the nostalgia aspect, because it's like that's how I was introduced to
For
you.
sure.
And that shit was so hard. I don't remember what record it was. I can't remember the names now, but that motherfucker where you say, you was riding with that yapper shooting out the roof with that motherfucker. I don't even remember the exact line, but
I think that was Grind Hustle.
I think that one. I think that was it. Yeah, but that shit was hard. And explain to me, out of your projects, which one would you say is your favorite? And you know what? Then we'll get to the Defiance project.
Sure.
So,
honestly, I'm gonna say Defiance, man. Just I feel like it encompasses each one of my projects. You kind of got a different side of me musically, even if the content was similar. I feel like musically you got a different side of me as I was growing to discover how to combine those different aspects. And I feel like Defiance does the best job thus far encapsulating all those different musical sides of me. But the close second, I would say Pleasure, Money, and Pain. I feel like Pleasure, Money, and Pain was severely slept on in regards to the lyrical content, the song direction, the production. That's definitely close my second favorite. And it could be my favorite, but the fact that Defiance is out now, you know what I'm saying, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's a bit. Okay, so I seen you with the music. I seen you do everything from work with Freeway, work with Crooked Eye, you know what I'm saying, did A3C.
For sure.
You did South by Southwest, many other more things. You took this shit on the road, and then it comes to a point where you meet T. Woodley.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? How did you get into that? How y'all meet?
I met Woodley through Coco and Jimmy Swell. So Coco is a producer that's a part of Basement Beats. He works closely with J.E., who was the country grammar producer. Coco assisted with that, but Coco claim to fame is the Grammy that he received for Shake Your Tail Feather, which was the Diddy, Murphy Lee, and Nelly record. So Coco produced that. Me and Coco, we like this. He produced the joint with me and Freeway and Bo. So Coco, he always reach out to me whether he's sending beats or he got an opportunity. So he was doing, so I do the same. So he was doing a posse record in a cypher fashion for one of the artists that he's working with. And he wanted just a whole bunch of St. Louis killers on it. So he had hit up King, which was formerly known, MC King was formerly known as Hakeem the Dream, Tef Poe, who else? Kenny Knox, another St. Louis legend, West Side legend. Who else on there? It was for the artist John Hills, to go by Hills. Somebody else on there, I can't remember. But Coco hit me, he was like, bro, I can't do no cypher record and not include you. So he hit me, ironically, I had just landed. I don't know where the fuck I was at, but he had called my phone. I had just got to the house and dropped my luggage off. He was like, bro, I need you, can you pull up on me? I said, bro, you got good time and I just got in town and I ain't really got shit to do. I said, I'm on the way. So he sent me the beat. I pulled up to his house. I wrote the verse in his driveway, maybe took me 10 minutes. And then I went inside and I walked in, he introduced me to Jimmy, then we walked into the studio session and Tyron Woodley was sitting there. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I double taked a little bit, then I was like, Coco, what the fuck he doing here? He was like, oh, he gonna hop on the record too. I'm like, dude, rap? He like, nah, we trying to get him to. I'm like, all right. So I just said, I'm like, what's up with the homie? He was like, oh shit, I'm a fan. I said, oh, I'm a fan too, goddamn it. Right. So I ain't tripped too much. I went in the booth, laid my shit down, and I came out, and nigga, everybody, like, they mouth was just like dropped because I did it in one take for one, and two, I got there and just did it, and the nigga Coco knew he had just sent me the beat maybe 20 minutes before.
Right.
So he like, bro, is this something that you had ready? I'm like, nah, I sat in the driveway a couple minutes and got it ready.
Right.
So I got a call like a week later from Jimmy, who's Tyron's close friend. And he was like, hey, Woodley's working on some music. He wants you to come down and fuck with him. I just happened to be downtown at the moment, so they was at Fat Buddha, so I pulled up, drank a little bit, smoked a little bit. I ended up helping him with some records that he was working on. And he asked me if I wanted to hop on one. I told him, I'll come back tomorrow. And we hopped on one. And I just kept going back. It was a good vibe, you know what I'm saying? Just getting to know him, he was getting to know me. He was talking about, different contexts that he had that could help me do what I was trying to do. So I was just going down there, and I was the only person giving them real feedback. When people of that stature, they doing shit, they surrounded by a lot of yes men, you know what I'm saying? Everybody in the studio like, yeah. I'm like, nah, homie, that shit whack. Take that off. Don't say this that way. Say it this way. Take that line out. Say this instead. You know what I'm saying? Really, like, it's like me going to the octagon. I'ma listen to that nigga. You know what I'm saying? We in the studio, nigga. This my octagon. You ain't the champion in here. You know what I'm saying? So I just started guiding him, helping him get better with his pen, and before you know it, shit, we had a whole project done. And the labels wanted him to put out a solo record, and he like, nah, we putting this shit out. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to use his platform to really help and propel me. So shit, from there, we just formed a brotherhood. We just been through some shit together. He was going through some court situations with his family. I was going through some crazy court situations with my family. A couple of my homies got smoked. A couple of his homies got smoked. And we was able to bond over some of the similar issues, even though he's a millionaire and a world-renowned athlete. We were going through some of the same issues. You feel me? So just formed a brotherhood and shit. We've been rocking since.
Yeah, that's dope. My favorite song on that project, by the way, is that Can't Go On.
Oh yeah,
that joint slide.
That was one of his records. I linked him up with my engineer, C. Rose, and I just popped in the studio on the east side. I didn't even know they was there. I just popped in. And he had two songs down. It was the night I had just found out my sister had stage 4 cancer. And I just needed to get out, and C. Rose hit me. I was like, we at the studio, pull up. And that song was done when I got there. You know what I'm saying? Willie just felt it in my spirit. He was like, bro, get on here and release what you need to release.
Yeah. With so much tragedy and so many obstacles to overcome, like, and I done seen you go through some shit in the past 4 or 5 years.
For sure.
Like what keep you ticking? What give you that motivation to say, nah, I ain't gonna fold, even when you got every opportunity and chance to?
Cause I don't want to be known as somebody that let some shit that's nowhere near as great as he is take him out. You know what I'm saying? Like I refuse to be one of the motherfuckers that let some of this nothing low down ass bullshit take me out. Like I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm here for, and I ain't gonna let nothing stop me. You know what I'm saying? I used to be extremely humble, and I had to stop that shit because humble only get you so far. You know what I'm saying? Don't get you no respect dealing with these evil snake motherfuckers out here. Like you gotta demand and command your respect, and just the thought of how I want my life to be, you know what I'm saying? How I want my legacy to be when I do leave this earth, how I want motherfuckers to remember me and view me, how I want to have affected the world, how I want to have affected my community and my people, how I want to have set up the path and destroyed all these generational curses so my children and they children and they children can bloom and not deal with the bullshit and these things that I have gone through. You feel me? That's what keep me going.
Yeah, that's dope. So earlier I heard you say when you was breaking down your superlatives, one thing that stand out to me is you being a family man.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And you one of the guys that I know, that I personally know, that do well with his children.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And go to the end of the earth for them. So explain to me what it is to be a family man with doing what you do. You know what I mean? When your time is demanded, when you gotta travel, but you also gotta stay, help with homework, school projects, be at school events. Like, what is that to DUBB O?
Well, I make sure that come first. You know what I'm saying? Like, all my engineers will tell you, they'll tell you, like, I don't come to the studio till after 9 p.m. because I make sure that I'm picking my kids up from school and I'm taking them and we eating dinner together and unless it's absolutely necessary that I go get some money. But we eating dinner together, and I'm helping getting them ready for bed, and I'm kissing them goodnight before I leave. You know what I'm saying? Like checking homework, or taking my oldest to ninjutsu, or taking the two smallest to basketball, or whatever it is. Like I make sure that I do that. Now, if I absolutely, it's a necessity that I have to be out of town, and I do that. But when I get back in town, I'm full-fledged in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the type of person to take an extra day or two out of town to try to party and kick it. I'm there, I handle my business, and I'm back to St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really just staying grounded. And I think not having a father and missing that love and wanting a father when I was a kid, it gave me the motivation to make sure that my children never have to miss a father. They gonna, if God decides to take me from this earth today, they gonna know they daddy. They gonna know they had a father. They gonna know what type of man I was, and they gonna know that I would go to the end of the fucking earth for them.
For sure. Recently I seen that you said you started a record label. Explain to me about your record label.
So I started a record label. It's called Audacity Music Group, and the reason I did it is because in the last year, you know, fucking with Woodley, I've been in a lot of offices with a bunch of top companies. I ain't gonna mention who they were. Met with a lot of A&Rs, and just the business that they offering people is just faulty business. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these rappers don't own none of the shit that they putting out. They don't own half the shit that they work or drive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I refuse to be one of them. You know what I'm saying? I believe in black ownership and black entrepreneurship. I believe financial freedom is one of the most important things that we should be focused on. Financial equity, and that's also inclusive of the music industry. It's also inclusive of the sports industry. It's inclusive of all that, and the entertainment industry as a whole. I believe in ownership, and also I know that if I have ownership and control of what the fuck I'm doing, I really can open up a lot of doors for motherfuckers in St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to personally be a fan of you or personally like your music. I'm a hustler. Somebody will. You know what I'm saying? One man's trash is another man's treasure. Even a garbage can gets a steak. You feel me? So just because I'm not a fan of the genre or I'm not a fan of your music, I know it's a million people on this fucking planet that will be. Because if you put something in the people's face enough, most people are sheep. They're gonna buy it. Listen to the bullshit that they buying now. The shit that's out on the radio, the shit that these kids are in love, is absolute bullshit. But it's been promoted to the fact that it's the shit. And the human psyche work in a way that if you say, nigga, this the shit, this the shit, this the shit, nigga, this the shit, this the shit, nigga, you're gonna be programmed to the fact, all right, nigga, this the shit. Nah, that's really the shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to Master P this motherfucker. I want niggas to be gone, because I know, for one, poverty creates the conditions for crime. St. Louis is fucked up because there's no opportunity, niggas is poor, and motherfuckers is being miseducated. You change them three things, this will be heaven on fucking earth.
That's hard. All right, so my final question would be, what's next for DUBB O? Where we go from
World domination. Nah, man, I'm gonna be one of the ghosts, dog. Like, I'm not stopping until then. I don't give a fuck if I'm old and gray. Like, as long as I have the ability, I'm gonna still make music. There's some people that's just blessed to do this. You know, look at Jigga, 50 plus, and he's still out rapping every fucking body. You know what I'm saying? Look at Eminem, 50 plus, he's still out rapping every fucking body. Like, some people just have a different set of skills, you know what I'm saying, behind the shit that they do. And I'm gonna be one of them people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we put this age limit on hip hop, but honestly, nigga, an 18-year-old can't really tell me shit about life that I want to hear on the record. I'm sorry. It's nothing, nigga, that you at 18 can fucking tell me that make me want to, like, it's cool to vibe with it and like the bop too, you know what I'm saying? But when I really want to hear some shit, and nigga, I'm not listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that age shit that we put on hip hop, like, it's absolutely retarded, because you look at the Rolling Stones, these niggas are 98,000 years old and they still touring and putting out new albums. You know what I'm saying? If you look at motherfuckers in the blues world or the R&B world, on the other side, not the black artists, but the other side, like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas is still dropping music and dropping some of their best shit, especially rock. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get over that shit. Like, you got to let artists be artists and let artists create. You know what I'm saying? Like, if motherfucking Basquiat was still alive, we wouldn't tell the nigga to stop painting because he 40 something. You know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga's a genius, let him fucking paint. So I feel the same way about hip hop.
That's dope. Well, T-Dub, that's all I got for you, my nigga. You hear me? Appreciate you for coming on G Code Conversation.
So I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, and we gonna do another one soon, bro.
100.